Okay, we can go to Dubai now, and we're joined by Princess Haya bint Al Hussein, UN messenger of peace and wife of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the ruler of Dubai. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Can I ask you first of all about aid efforts? I know that you chair a charity which sends major amounts of aid into Gaza. How is that getting through, and is it being distributed? Are people reaching that?
Thank you very much, Julie, for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. Unfortunately, our efforts for delivering aid are being seriously hampered. I heard yesterday that from the 10 trucks that we had scheduled to go in, which started at 15, now we've been asked to drop the capacity of each truck by 10%. Things like this, when the food is ready to go in, sitting on the border, really do cause major frustrations for charities like Tqiyat Ali.
Do you know why the capacity was ordered to be dropped? Did the Israeli army say why?
No, I don't know why, and I can't understand why we have red tape in humanitarian efforts. The very fact right now that the call for an immediate ceasefire is seen as a political issue, it's not. It's a humanitarian issue now. We need to be allowed to get in. We need to be allowed to deliver food, to deliver medical assistance. We need the crossings to remain open. A 3-hour window for humanitarian assistance is just not human. It's not reasonable. Even with that 3-hour window, I've heard already on your broadcast that some people are venturing out. Those that are very, very brave are trying, but there have been UN vehicles targeted. UNRWA, which is our distributing arm, of course, has been targeted, has been hit. Their vehicles have been hit. We need to work with credible partners. We've chosen UNRWA, and we rely on them to get our food assistance to the people who need it. And we're talking about 300,000 people who are facing a certain death. If it's not through bullets and through their own wounds, it's through starvation. 300,000 people.
I can hear the frustration in your voice, and clearly the kind of pictures that we have coming out of Gaza is causing a lot of anger amongst Arab populations elsewhere. You've spoken about Arab anger on the streets and said that it could spiral out of control because of this. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean on a very, very small level. Personally, you've said you heard the frustration in my voice. The images don't stop for us. We can't. This is not something that we can turn off. We understand that the international media have other stories to cover. The very fear that this story is now going to die down because, if you will, there will become an a sense of being immune to the news. The fact that this is a conflict that keeps going, and that the volume will be turned down, but we can't afford that. We need really to have an immediate ceasefire. We need the war to stop.
What about the fact that
there is that I can tell you that the sense at grassroots level on the Arab street is absolutely one of shame, of humiliation, of fear, and of anger. And it's the fact that people are seeing, friends, relatives, people who speak the same language, who look the same as everybody else in the Arab world. There's very, very much a sense that this could be us. It is us.
Why isn't that grassroots anger being translated at a higher national leadership level? Why aren't Arab leaders doing more to try and resolve this crisis?
It is translated, and they're doing absolutely everything they can. But the question is, why isn't the world listening? I mean, there are there's a lot of instances that I've personally seen where many Arab leaders, and I do have the privilege of being in touch with them and understanding the efforts that they're trying to make. Their voices are not being transferred. They're not being heard, and it seems like they're deliberately not being listened to. But again, it's not a political message that we're giving. It's a humanitarian message. The OCHA, the UN humanitarian coordinator, is calling for an immediate ceasefire, for people to be able to function, for aid to be able to get in, for us to be able to save lives. It's that simple.
Of course, there are diplomatic efforts going on in Cairo. Are you optimistic that a solution can be found that both the Israelis and Hamas will agree to?
My sole focus is my humanitarian concern.
Okay, Princess Haya bint Al Hussein, thank you very much indeed for joining us, the UN Messenger of Peace there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.